Sort of a central incident that happens towards the end of the book, and I won't go into all the detail, but essentially there's some vandalism at the Islamic Center and at the mosque, and it's a very painful thing to read. And this is something you wrote a while back, so it was becoming more sort of relevant, but it didn't have sort of the relevance it has right now.
Yeah.
So what was your thinking in including that kind of incident at the time?
I think when I wrote the book, which was almost 5 years ago now, you know, Islamophobia was something that was on the rise in the country. It was something I was aware of. I had heard of mosque vandalism incidents around the country, but it wasn't with the alarming frequency we're seeing now. And you know, it was something that many communities face from time to time. And I think I really wanted people to, one, you know, experience this center and this mosque and grow to love it and see how valuable it was to Amina's family. But then also when the destruction did happen, to be able to put themselves in her shoes and imagine what it would feel like to be a little girl who is faced with, you know, something as distressing as that. As you mentioned, it happens towards the end of the story. It's not the point of the story. The point of the story is really her journey and you know, her own inner struggles and overcoming confidence and other things. But I felt like it was, to me, something that is an important thing that many communities do unfortunately face, and as you mentioned, like now more than ever, but also an example of how, you know, ultimately the community that comes together and support them is such a positive example of how people can react and treat each other, and sort of my hopeful thought on how, and really honestly it has been that way in so many of the communities that have faced tragic incidents like this. We've seen this outpouring of love and support that very much mirrors what's in the book.
I think you really get a sense of that with a little bit of hope that this brings people together and gives them another opportunity to express their support, which is so valuable.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think one of the things I wanted to mention, and one of the characters does say this when they're watching the news, and especially her uncle who comes from overseas and witnesses this, everyone sort of remembers, wow, what is this person going to say? But the fact that, you know, one of the characters says that America is still the best place to live as a Muslim, and I feel like as a Muslim American, knowing people, you know, like me, from all different backgrounds, Pakistani, American, or other backgrounds, that so many people feel that and have felt that until maybe recently. But even despite what's happening recently, that this is a wonderful place to live and to be able to practice your faith. And in many, even Muslim majority countries, people don't have the freedoms that we have here. So we're grateful for that. And it was nice to be able to sort of celebrate that, that this community is very American and very happy to be American, even though it's not, you know, overtly said. I think maybe there's a line in there where somebody mentions that to the uncle, you know, just to make sure he understands that everyone, you know, feels the way they do.